Hello and welcome to Supply Chain Dives webinar, Leveling Up Your Fulfillment for 2022 and Beyond. My name is Jeff Gamet. I'm with Supply Chain Dive Studio ID, and I'm excited to facilitate today's discussion on how beauty, fashion, and wellness brands can take control of their fulfillment for 2022 and beyond. We have an amazing panel of speakers here to discuss the topic, so let's get started by introducing them. Today we have with us Elise Contarsi, Chief Executive Officer at Ombre, a wellness brand based in San Francisco, California. A creative executive with extensive experience in merchandising, media, and marketing, Elise has led successful brand building programs of significant scale for Martha Stewart and Better Homes and Gardens. Her experience spans omni-channel retailing, private label branding, licensing, multi-channel marketing, content, and product development. Elise is a proven team leader with a unique blend of business acumen, creativity, and strong general management skills to grow sales, deliver bottom-line profits, and increase consumer connections. Donnie Salazar is founder and CEO of MasonHub, a fast-growing fulfillment provider for beauty, fashion, and wellness brands. Donnie is a seasoned entrepreneur and operations expert in the e-commerce world who has held leadership positions at several innovative retail brands. As COO of omnichannel sneaker marketplace Flight Club, Senior Vice President of Operations at jewelry brand Chloe and Isabel, and Vice President at Gilt Group. At Gilt, his team scaled the supply chain to support hypergrowth, where revenues grew from $10 million to over $500 million during his 4-year tenure. Prior to founding MasonHub, Donnie ran a successful retail consultancy, streamlining operations and scaling growth for emerging omnichannel brands. Christopher Hazlett is Chief Technology Officer at MasonHub. Chris is an experienced technology leader with 20 years of experience building out high-performance teams and mission-critical systems at firms including LinkedIn and freight marketplace Transfix. He has also been Senior Director of Back Office and International Engineering at Gilt Group, where he builds teams and architected the communication and inventory management system, as well as international fulfillment from 2010 to 2015. At MasonHub, Chris builds cutting-edge software to revolutionize fulfillment and power the next generation of omnichannel retail, overseeing an international team that tripled in size in 2021. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you all here and tap into your wealth of knowledge on this subject. Now, before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items to go over. At the bottom of your screen are multiple application widgets you can use. All the widgets are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around to get the most out of your desktop space. Please note the slides will advance automatically throughout the presentation, and to enlarge the slides, click the Enlarge Slides button located in the top right-hand corner of your presentation window. Okay, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's jump into today's topic. Customer expectations for a seamless shopping experience are higher than ever, despite the additional supply chain challenges that came with the global pandemic. That elevated customer experience extends to fulfillment and often underused opportunity to personalize the customer experience with everything from preference and inventory-aware free samples to handwritten notes. In addition, many luxury beauty and wellness brands struggle to maintain the accurate inventory visibility critical to manage SKUs across channels and locations, as well as to support their complex kitting and customization requirements. Traditional fulfillment approaches are often unable to satisfy these exacting needs. Today, we will explore how to deliver an exceptional fulfillment experience for your valued customer by accessing solutions to more precisely calibrate inventory across channels, better managing back orders and pre-sales and kitting and custom assortments, and ensuring higher service levels and advanced capabilities from your fulfillment partner. Let's start off by talking about the rising expectation of today's beauty, fashion, and wellness consumers. Elise, can you tell us a bit more about Ombre's business and what you and your colleagues at Ombre consider some of consumers' most widely held expectations?
Hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, Ombre is a very interesting and unique wellness brand. We provide consumers with easy at-home gut tests. We test the microbiome of your digestive tract and we analyze it in our labs. And from there, we're able to provide you with a personalized microbiome report, which includes food recommendations to incorporate and avoid, as well as probiotic recommendations. And we have a whole assortment of probiotics, and we can recommend one that's right for you, and you can subscribe. It's really been a very interesting path for us this year as we've rebranded our company. We were formerly doing business under another brand. We needed to change our brand. We changed our brand, and at the same time, we really fixed our whole supply chain. And we looked for a partner who could provide us with excellent third-party warehouse and fulfillment services. I think what consumers are expecting today is when they go on your site and they want to order something, they want to have a good understanding that you're there for them and that you're going to be able to respond to their needs. They want to know where their order is in process, and they expect to have a smooth delivery process. They expect to understand when it's going to arrive and when that delivery is expected. The consumer's getting very used to a lot of transparency across the entire supply chain. At Ombre, we found that the more touch points that we can provide, the better value we can offer our customers. So long term, we're continuing to build additional touch points throughout the supply chain to understand where the customer is in their journey.
Awesome. Thanks, Elise. As brands know all too well, consumers have also come to expect omni-channel shopping. Donnie, can you tell us a bit more about consumer expectations?
Hi. Thank you for having me. Yes, of course. I'd love to tell you more about that. So now with the advent of multiple channels and the ways in which customers can purchase their products, it's ever more important that you are transacting wherever the customer is. It no longer has to be just on your website. It could be on the store. It could be in store. It could be at a wholesaler. It could be at a marketplace. So it's ever more important today for retailers to be able to transact wherever the customer wants to purchase their product. It could even be on social media. I get served multiple social media posts and I'm often buying things that I didn't even realize that I needed. And that's because the brands know that I'm going to transact on that social media channel. It's important for them to be available for purchase on that site.
Yeah, those expectations sound like a pretty high bar for brands to clear, particularly if they are not global, multi-billion-dollar companies. Now, what are some challenges you have faced in meeting consumers' fulfillment expectations, Elise?
Yeah, well, when I joined the company, we were a very early startup, and we were literally shipping product out of a subletted garage in San Francisco that we had no lease on. And, nothing was barcoded. Picking was done by product name. There was absolutely no inventory management tools, hence we had no inventory visibility. And, even after barcoding products, it was difficult for us to know what was inbound, what was being received. And, to say I wanted a financial close at the end of the month and it would take weeks to get the inventory counted was always an issue for me. So we knew we needed to change. We knew that we could not provide more accurate information for our consumers if we did not have more accurate information ourselves. So, our inventory visibility issues made it really, really difficult for us to meet consumer demand. And we're still seeing that. And, we're seeing some of the effects of our old habits. We would always keep our Shopify on stock, that we were in stock, whether we weren't or not, because we had no idea how to connect the two. And we're ending up with a lot of back orders, and we were not really able to ship in a timely manner. And once, you get behind in that kind of manual situation, it's very hard to catch up, and you really get further and further delayed. So really, not scrambling all the time and being in an environment now where we have much more visibility, much more control, we think the path ahead for us is much clearer.
Now, those are some tough challenges, but pretty common too, especially for young brands. Now, Chris, what other challenges are supply chain folks at brands talking about?
Thanks for having me today. Yeah, we have a lot of clients in Ombre's position, a lot of vertically integrated. They own everything from the manufacturing up to the sales. And over the past 2 years, they've struggled with manufacturing issues, port delays, still ongoing, logistics of getting product into the facility counted correctly, parcel delivery delays, just getting it to the customer. You name it, the logistics problems have been legion for our clients. As retailers ourselves, being in that position, we knew what a big problem it was going to be when we started the company, and we still feel that pain today. There's a lot of these companies nowadays are growing rapidly, so rapidly they're producing high amounts of revenue with very, very small staffs, which makes it hard to invest in inventory management, hard to invest in the technology necessary to scale their business. They make managing back orders and pre-sales on the existing tool sets like Shopify, like Elise had mentioned. It's just hard to manage and have visibility on, because when there's so many moving pieces and you're growing so fast, it quickly gets out of hand. It's the biggest thing that I would say that our clients need and we hear often is real-time visibility, seeing what's happening with my inventory, the ability to sell into stock that I haven't manufactured or received yet. Those are all things that we seek to accommodate with our platform.
All right. Thanks so much, Lisa and Chris. I'm sure those challenges resonate with a lot of our audience, and they're especially interested in hearing about how to address these issues. So let's move right to talking about best practices they can consider for a more seamless and efficient supply chain moving forward. Chris, can you tell us more about the first one, better inventory visibility?
Real-time visibility is essential to a growing business, because if you are in a batch scenario, which a lot of fulfillment partners are, it can create problems where you oversell or undersell property, so your units, so you miss opportunities to sell, or you disappoint your customers because you've manually updated inventory, or the batch hasn't run yet and your Shopify store shows out of stock, or worse, you start selling into stock you do not have. So when we started MasonHub at the very beginning, the first thing we said, it has to be real time. When something happens on the floor, it needs to hit the customer's store or our client's store within 1 to 2 seconds of that activity. So when we receive the product, that product is showing up within their storefront, and they can rest assured that any purchase that is made is actually against real units. Additionally, we have more functionality that allows our clients to sell into inventory they have not yet received. So if they're manufacturing, you got 1,000 units inbound to MasonHub, you can actually set a threshold and say, I want to sell up to 1,000 units, and our system will in real time manage that policy, that oversell policy, and allow you to sell into that without overselling what you're manufacturing. Again, giving you that kind of real-time management and visibility into how your inventory is flowing and what you need to produce. Another thing that beauty and wellness brands really dig into is kitting, and they want to experiment. They want to sell one product with another product, and they do that through dynamic kitting. And oftentimes the way they do that is by keeping a spreadsheet open, and then they'll increase the number of, well, I think I've got 100 of these, and they'll go put that in Shopify or whatever other front end they're selling, and it turns out they only had 50. And then they oversell those 100, and they disappoint those 50 customers, and they have to send out a terrible email that says, I'm sorry, we don't actually have it. How about this thing? And they hope they come back. When we built the system, another thing that we knew would be important was dynamic kitting. That's as real time as inventory that we have in the facility. So if you bundle two things together, if one of those things sells out, that kit is also sold out on your front end. Those are very important things to keep your customers happy and coming back for more.
Great. Okay, Elise, I believe you have had some real-life experience adding real-time inventory visibility by picking the right fulfillment partner. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Well, you know what? I think they picked me because I can remember the day I was sitting in my car and I got a phone call, and Kristen was on the other line. She's like, Elise, do you need a digital warehouse fulfillment partner who's going to have real-time inventory for you and can ship and support your Shopify customers? And I was like, yes, I do. That is exactly, I think I was like 2 weeks into this job. And I was like, that is exactly what I need. So it was really interesting. And it really was at the very beginning of my journey here at Ombre. It was before we were called Ombre. And I had yet to be out to California to visit our facility. But shortly after I got that call, I went out to California. I saw the facility that we were in, and I quickly realized, I needed to change. I knew I needed something that was going to support this business and help us reach the growth targets that we have. And we partnered with MasonHub as our fulfillment partner because their systems are built on real-time inventory. And I have that ability to see my inventory real-time, both in my Shopify to manage my merchandising business, but also at the end of the month when I need to do a financial close, it's right there. And we really have a good idea of what's coming in, what's being received, if an item is sold out, we could really manage that in a variety of ways that Jeff was just talking about. Do we want to pre-sell? Do we want to oversell? Do we know it's about to land? How do we want to manage that so that we're making the best use of our inventory dollars and also providing our consumers with the best experience they can have. And having that fully digital dashboard, when I started sharing it around the organization with my accounting team, my merchant team, everyone was thrilled that we were moving in this direction. So it's been a great partnership since we launched in November.
That sounds like it's having a big impact on your business. And the next best practice is support fulfillment across multiple channels and locations. Elise, using multiple shipping nodes is something you're considering. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're currently in MasonHub's Rancho Cucamonga location. We are considering starting to put some products into Wilkes-Barre. I think that will be, beneficial for us in two ways. It'll be closer to our East Coast customers. And our product is shelf stable, but we appreciate that that's a climate controlled facility. So we're really excited about it.
Awesome. Okay, Donnie, can you tell us more about the importance of multi-node fulfillment and how to calibrate inventory across locations and channels?
Part of our strategic plan was to increase the number of fulfillment centers we offer to our customers. We can get to the products to the customers as close as possible. So what's the benefit of multi-node fulfillment? Well, the first thing is speed delivery to the customers. We dramatically have improved the speed of delivery when customers split their inventory between our two coasts. Additionally, and probably more importantly, is also reducing shipping costs. By splitting your inventory, you're really avoiding paying for Zone 7, Zone 8 shipping, which can be very costly for fast-growing brands. In addition to using multiple nodes, it's also important to be able to use those facilities to support multiple channels. You want to be able, like I said earlier, you want to be able to serve customers wherever they are, on their website, in their stores, in retailers, and on online marketplaces, etc. So you require a fulfillment operation that can not only support your digital orders, but also your wholesale orders or your drop ship orders. So the best practice is to arrange your fulfillment operation that can support both multi-node shipping and shipping into multiple channels. Now, that also means that you have to calibrate your inventory to support that mix of different order types and locations. And Chris, why don't you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's thanks, Donnie. The importance of allocation and real-time information is can't be understated. If you have batch or data that is stale, it'll be really hard to quickly split or route orders based on the customer needs or what's on hand in each facility. And it's interesting when you think about what a fulfillment partner does for a client. They have a full picture of the business from the inventory that's come in and the inventory that's going out and what the costs are associated with that. And so you really want to have a partner that has up to the second inventory. You really want to have a partner that can help you understand what happens when you split, what's the cost implications of that. You want them to help you understand what splitting in our PA facility versus California facility, what that can do to your wholesale business, because some wholesale business requires you to send it out of one facility or another. So having that real-time data and the ability to split and route orders is an essential part of fulfillment, but even more important is being able to provide that kind of data and analysis and help to your business as it grows and changes, because it will change. And knowing that ahead of time is going to save our clients, lots of money.
Thanks, everyone. Another need that's pretty common among beauty, fashion, and wellness brands is to create kitting, bundles, and other custom packaging. But it's not always easy to find fulfillment partners that can do this well, particularly for a brand that's starting small and charting for fast growth. Elise, is this important for Ombre?
Yes, kitting was very important to us in searching for a fulfillment partner. Our product starts with an at-home test, and the Ombre Home Gut Test is essentially, a couple of sundries. It's a cardboard box, it's a swab, it's some stickers, it's a little vial that has some buffer in it. And, but putting that all together and having that in inventory as a finished SKU, that was key for us. We were doing that manually ourselves prior, and we really wanted to consolidate that all into one operation. So MasonHub allowed us to do that. And that finished SKU, we're then able to have that under one roof in inventory and send it out. So so then, it was a very, very appealing capability to us. It was a critical capability to us. And we also, in addition, once the consumers get their results, then we onboard them or upsell them to a probiotic subscription. So MasonHub also has all those SKUs in the warehouse. And it's really important to us. So that way, we can really start to think much more strategically about how we're messaging, how we're handling promotions, how we're thinking about, additional customer touch points. And we're really just getting started. I think we have a lot of opportunity to continue to build on what we're putting together at warehouse. So whether it's, promotional items and flyers that go in, personalization, and creating additional bundles, I think there's a lot of upside for us in kitting and bundling.
Now, Donnie, can you tell us how to make the most of kitting and bundling?
Yeah, sure. Would love to. So I think Chris alluded to our product that we call dynamic kitting and bundling, but I think it's important to understand why this is important. So the name of the game, specifically on e-commerce, is always improving your AOVs, which are your average order values. And kitting and bundling is a great way to achieve that. So bringing two products together increases your basket size and ultimately increases your gross margin dollars. Additionally, you're exposing your customers to different products. But one of the challenges often with kitting in bundling is tying up your inventory because each of the item may no longer be available. However, as Chris mentioned, we launched dynamic kitting and bundling because this is a problem that we always faced. So what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that you can sell items individually or you can bundle them as a kit and you can create them on the fly. So for instance, if you wanted to sell an eyeliner and a lipstick together, you can test it out and see how well they do. But then if they don't do well, then you can disband that kit and try another kit. And it's all real time. It's all inventory is always updated. So you're never going to risk overselling on that kit, but you're also being able to sell those things individually or together as a kit. There's a lot of other things that, once you have that data, let's say the lipstick and eyeliner sell really well together. Well, one of the other things that we do, as we do for Ombre, is we pre-kit those items. So we bring those items together because we know that we're going to be able to sell those and we can benefit from saving money by pre-kitting the items and getting them out the door more quickly. Additionally, we do offer a product that we call bulk shipping. So if you have several like-kind orders, what we'll do, like we do for Ombre, we'll bundle all those items together and bulk ship them so we can be able to take advantage of economies of scale by shipping multiple like-kind products together.
Thanks, Donnie. Another way brands can stand out is to create long-term relationships with customers through customization and personalization. And can you tell us more about that, Donnie?
Yeah, of course. So beauty, fashion, and wellness brands, they really care about the unboxing experience and the personalization because their customers do. These are very personal products, and customers want to buy them from a brand that they trust and feel close to. So this is a key retail trend as well. And in order to enrich that relationships, brands are actually often looking for packaging done in a specific way, customized inserts into boxes that are potentially messaging or promoting a new product. You can sample, offer different, beauty and wellness brands are always looking to sample their products or new products. Now, this is sometimes very hard to achieve with our competitors, but for us, we created a product that we call the Fulfillment Automation Marketing Engine, or FAME. The brand creates the marketing rules, and we insert them into our product. And so what we do is, say a brand wants only first-time purchases to get a sample, we can accommodate that. Like I said, most fulfillment providers can identify only a subset of customer attributes, but the Fulfillment Automation Marketing Engine does that automatically. Your fulfillment partner is often your last touch before the customer receives their product. So, you want to be able to optimize on the unpacking experience and make the messaging personalized and make it even more special. Elise, I know that the FAME has been very important to Ombre.
Yeah, it has, and I think it's going to be more important as we go along. We've been live with Ombre out of MasonHub only since November, and it was like a rocket ship coming out during Black Friday and going into Christmas. And now we're starting to think about new and interesting things that we can do to utilize the facility to include messaging to first-time customers. Our business model is converting test takers to probiotic subscribers. So there's room for us to include promotional materials about the probiotics to the test recipients so that once they have their test and they get their results, there's an additional touch point there for us, on the physical side as well as the digital side. And it's really, really important that we constantly think about how are we communicating with that customer? What are those different touch points and how are we forging a deeper relationship with them on and offline?
Thanks, Donnie and Elise. Okay, let's move on to our next best practice, optimize back orders and pre-sales. Elise, you mentioned having access to real-time inventory and seeing what's inbound helps Ombre with its sales.
Yeah, it really does. It gives us an idea of, how many kits we have in inventory. We can even see the componentry of our kits. So as we need to, go and order the componentry as well. So it's really helpful for us. It's helpful for us to know when these goods are being received, and so that we can just keep selling and make sure that we're, capturing every customer out there.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, one of the things that we noticed pretty early on in the pandemic was that back orders were a particular problem, or underselling, or basically running out of inventory. And that has been happening. Obviously, as we know, everything's been backlogged at the ports. Material or inventory was harder to locate because there were so many delays in manufacturing. Lots of brands have their e-com platform settings to sell endlessly inventory, and what ends up happening is you potentially risk overselling your product that you don't have. For us, when we saw this last year with all the port delays, we had over 100,000 back orders across multiple clients because they didn't have the inventory to satisfy their customers. And this can ultimately alienate your customers, damage your reputation, or put all those sales at risk. So we introduced what we call a pre-sale or back order management solution that helps brands get visibility to what inbound containers they have. So for instance, you can keep selling without having the inventory in stock. You can accept the right number of orders given the timing, and you can control what you're going to sell. So as Chris mentioned earlier, if I know I'm going to get a container of 10,000 widgets, I'm going to put that inventory available, even though I may physically not have it, but I don't want to avoid missing those sales. So, and then once those 10,000 widgets arrive, we start fulfilling them by prioritizing the back orders. And all of this is done in real time, and the brand can see all the visibility of all of this happening. Additionally, you can provide more operating capital to the business, because ultimately you're selling your product before you physically have it and have to pay your vendors. So it can be a huge benefit and a huge win for brands. Now, the one downside is if you have one item that is available in stock and one in back order. Well, we've offered the customers to be able to split that. So if you want to be able to split the order, our platform provides you the ability to do that. So if one is in stock and one is on back order, if the brand wants to wait until both of those widgets arrive and so they ship together, then we can support that. If they want it to split and say, actually ship what's come available immediately and then we'll ship the next one later when it arrives, then we can provide that that option as well. So it's super powerful to the brand to be able to make those determinations depending on what customer experience they want to deliver.
Yeah, I would add to that, Donnie, that real-time inventory, kitting, and pre-sales, they combine to really impact subscription fulfillment. So if you have a subscription business where a large portion of your business is subscription or growing, it can become hard to manage all of those orders on a monthly basis or weekly basis, depending on the subscription you have. So if you know that you have 1,000 back-ordered subscriptions, as soon as the product comes in, we will allocate inventory directly to your subscribers first, get that to them immediately, and keep them happy. But if you see that pattern over and over again, and it's a kitted subscription, which we do a lot of, you can then begin pre-kitting on a monthly basis to prepare for the next run of subscriptions. That will save you significant in your pick and pack fees.
Wow, that's really impressive. All right, our final best practice is to find a fulfillment partner that can meet your needs today and tomorrow by working together to create a fulfillment solution that will scale and empower your growth. Chris, can you talk about how brands can go about matching their needs to a fulfillment partner?
Sure, yeah. The reality is brands come to us at all stages of their development. When they're just starting out, they need a lot of inventory visibility. They need to see what's happening in their fulfillment, when things are getting to their clients. They need to understand. As they grow, their needs change significantly. It's about time to customer, multi-node shipping, pre-kitting. The needs are very different, and I've seen this time and time again. Even when we were retailers, what we needed when I started at Guild 5 years, when I first started, and then by the time I left at 5 years, I see this with our clients today at each stage of their development. So you need, when you're looking for a fulfillment partner, you need a partner whose technology and team understands where you're at and what you need, and that their systems can flex with you and scale with you as your needs and your business changes. It's no good if you come into a retailer or a fulfillment partnership when you're selling 1,000 orders a month and you hit that kind of hyper scaling, and you're doing 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and the system falls over. It can't process it. They can't process your orders. There's week delays. You're sending emails to your customers that, oh, we're behind by 8 days. How many of those did we see over the last couple of years? It's no good if that's how your fulfillment partner works with you. Or if that's what the service level they can provide. So when you're looking for that fulfillment partner, you're looking for someone whose technology can scale, but also that their team can scale and understands what you're going through and your needs at that time, because they're going to change, and you're going to have to adapt, and you're going to want them to adapt both their technology and their service with you.
Elise, with your background with multiple brands, when have you learned about selecting the right fulfillment partner?
For us, it was important that we had a fulfillment partner who really understands the cadence of direct to retail, direct to consumer retail. We're living right now in a time of just epic change. I mean, it's a retail revolution, and you really can't go into battle alone. You need partners who really understand what's going on out there, who've had their own experiences to bring to the table with their own sense of expertise. And so, we looked at a variety of different warehouse options. We looked at, partners who wanted to build us bespoke solutions. And honestly, we were too small for that. I didn't need a bespoke solution. I needed somebody who had a solution already built that I could plug into and feel really confident going out to market with our new brand and our new inventory. And, MasonHub has been a great fit for us.
Thanks, Elise. We've been super happy to partner with you. One thing I tell people is that among all the vendors that you work with, your fulfillment partner is probably one of the most critical. And I say that because you make revenue by shipping your products. So it's always important that that partner hits on all cylinders.
Yeah, and it's really important when you're building a business from scratch. You need a team around you. You need folks who are organized, detailed, knowledgeable, understand your business. But you know what? You need people who you like to work with. And we've really enjoyed working with Donnie and his team because it's so important, right, that you hang out with people that you want to be around. And, the best thing is I get to work with Donnie and his team, and I don't have to hire my own warehouse manager. I don't have to build my own platform. It really has been a very effective plug-and-play situation for us. So we're super appreciative.
Yeah, and just to add on that, like I said, it's a true partnership that needs to scale with you as you grow. And so there's a couple must-have capabilities that I like to give people advice on when they're looking for a fulfillment partner. One, as Elise mentioned, is expert advice. From our perspective, we've been retailers, we've been on the other side, so we can uniquely understand the needs of what a fast-growing retailer requires. We really built the solution that we wanted when we were retailers. So always, being able to suggest ideas from our own experience is always super helpful when you're working with a partner. Additionally, you really want people and your partner to have broad capabilities and innovative solutions. There are many things, as Elise said, that are changing in the retail space. So, some of the products we talked about today are personalization, kitting, pre-sales, etc. We really, really invest heavily in technology to really enable the flexibility that's required for the modern retailer. And then finally, we really can't express how important the relationship and partnership is. What we do here at MasonHub is we have our three-tier support team. We have, our customer service team. We also have a dedicated account manager that really acts as an internal advocate for the brand. Additionally, you always want to be able to not only have regular touch bases with your fulfillment partner, but you really want to reserve time at least every quarter to really dig in and review progress and identify any potential opportunities that can be beneficial to both sides. And then finally, just having clear SLAs that you're held accountable to, or rather the brand holds you accountable to. And those are really, really important things when looking for a fulfillment partner.
Yeah, I would add to that from a technology perspective, you want, as I just mentioned, you want something that'll scale. You want something that won't fall over if you have a really great day on Black Friday under the weight of all of their clients. You want them to provide the functionality you need. Can they provide data in real time? Can they help you from a technology and a data perspective make good, timely decisions? And can they integrate with your e-commerce platform? I mean, some of that seems basic, including the e-commerce platform, but do they do a good job at it? Are they responsive when Shopify changes its API or NetSuite changes its API? Those are things that are really important. You want your fulfillment partner to be tuned in to what's happening in the e-commerce world so that they are making changes to their platform as well. And lastly, when you're looking at what they're building, you want to figure out if they are aggressively adding to their platform. Is their roadmap responsive to user feedback, to client feedback? Do they understand where they want to go with the software they're building? I always say when you buy software, you're buying an opinion, and so the roadmap of any fulfillment partner is going to be their opinion on what's important and essential to growing the business and serving your needs as you grow.
Yeah, those are great thoughts from everyone, and a lot of interesting food for thought about what best practices brands can adopt to ensure a seamless and successful fulfillment experience in this challenging supply chain environment. It's been a great discussion. And we do have a few minutes left for our panel to field some questions. So feel free to post your questions, and we will try to get to all of them. And they are coming in already. So first question, I think, is a good fit for you, Elise. Since you were a startup, I'm guessing you didn't have a lot of supply chain tech. Can you explain a little bit more about how you use your fulfillment partner to fill in the blanks on managing your inventory?
Yeah, we really didn't have a lot of supply chain tech at all. I would say we had none. So MasonHub's been great for us because it really integrates directly with our Shopify storefront. And it gives us a fully digital dashboard so we can see all of our inventory status and movement. You know, we can see what's there. We can see what's coming in. And for us so far, it's been enormously helpful. I don't think we would have had the successful launch we had starting from November 1st on if it wasn't for our partnership with MasonHub.
Awesome. Thank you, Elise. Okay, the next question I think looks like a good fit for Chris. Does the brand need to have its own systems to manage orders and fulfillment and pass that info to the fulfillment provider system, or does the fulfillment provider do all of that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a challenging area for any brand to manage, particularly at a startup as you're beginning to add new channels. At MasonHub, we directly handle your inventory. We have an order management system that splits and routes your inventory and ensures that everything is up to date and in real time. So you can look at our platform and say, oh, this order is being picked right now, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that it is. We integrate with we handle the integration to your e-commerce platform. And you can see carrier activity, et cetera. So all that stuff's kind of handled by MasonHub. But you know, as a retailer, you're going to have the Shopify store or initiate relationships with, say, you know, any retailer like Walmart, Nordstrom, et cetera. But our platform will enable you as a client to connect to Nordstrom per se or Walmart, and also will connect directly to Shopify and provide all the kind of back and forth for returns and the like.
Awesome. That was interesting. Thanks, Chris. Now, Donnie, I think this next one is a good fit for you. What are some other things we can do to prevent re-experiencing some of the big supply chain challenges we did over the last year?
Yeah, that's a tough one. As you guys all know, there's a lot of challenges happening in the supply chain sector, which is been a little bit crazy. But one of the things I like to tell brands is, you know, diversify your suppliers and carriers as much as possible. We found that many of our brands that were having supply chain challenges often were reliant on one or two partners for all of their manufacturing. And so, you know, one of the recommendations I had was, you know, try diversifying. And that can sometimes be challenging. But at the end of the day, what that does is it mitigates your risk and your reliance on one partner. So we saw some brands be very successful with that by reaching out to different manufacturers to help diversify that base and not, you know, create reliance so much on on one brand. And that also goes for inbound delivery and outbound delivery, is diversify your partners as much as you can, so that if something is not going right with one of the partners, you can quickly adjust and move your products or your business to someone else.
Awesome, thank you. And that's all the time we have. If we didn't get to your question, someone will get back to you via email. Thanks for joining us today for the webinar, and a big thank you to our speakers, Elise, Chris, and Donnie. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, have a great day.